Once upon a time, in a small flood-prone village on the banks of the river Brahmaputra in Assam, lived Anandi Devi, an old lady. She lived alone in a small bamboo hut near an old banyan tree. Her husband had passed away many years ago, and her only daughter had been married off in a faraway village. Everyone in the village was fond of her as she was always smiling despite her sufferings. Whether the sun burned the fields or the floods washed them away, Anandi Devi's face never lost its calm glow. Whenever villagers worried about bad harvests, illness, or deaths, she would remind them, a positive mind can find a way even when the body is tired. Over time, her presence became the village's quiet strength. Then one day, the river rose higher than ever before. A storm had swallowed the whole village. Dark clouds loomed over the Brahmaputra, and rain lashed against bamboo huts. People screamed, running through knee-deep water. Inside her hut, Anandi Devi lit a small oil lamp, whispering prayers. The walls of her little hut shook and thunder roared, but she sat calmly, her hands folded in quiet faith. When the rain eased a little, she stepped outside her hut, watching villagers panic as the river crept closer. The villagers shouted, "Amma, the water is rising, come to higher ground." She simply said, "If we panic, we'll sink faster. If we believe we can make it, we'll find a way." And somehow, they did. Her calm voice and unshaken faith steadied everyone around her. The villagers tied ropes between the trees, helping elders cross the flooded paths. They had taken their cattle, animals, and poultry to higher ground earlier. Days later, after the storm eased and the floodwaters began to retreat, a young man with a camera around his neck walked through the muddy street. His name was Arjun, a journalist from Guwahati who had come to document the destruction and write about loss. The kind of emotional stories that made headlines for a little time but were soon forgotten. Everywhere he went, he saw sadness and misery, except in this village. Despite destroyed homes and submerged fields, people here smiled as they worked together to rebuild. "How can you people still smile after losing so much?" Arjun asked one of the villagers. The man pointed toward the same banyan tree where the old woman was sitting on a raised platform and was surrounded by children. "Because of her, Anandi Devi, she taught us how to think positively." Arjun approached her curiously. "Amma, haven't you people lost so much? Then how can you stay so positive despite all your losses?" he asked, surprised at her calmness. She smiled. "Yes, some of us have lost our homes, some our fields, but we have not lost our hope. I learned long ago that when your thoughts stay positive, the world follows. Come sit, I will tell you a story." As Arjun sat beside her, she began telling him the story that the entire village had learned from. "Many years ago, when I was a young girl, this village faced its worst flood in a long time. The water swallowed everything: homes, fields, even hope. People cried, cursed the river, and waited for help that never came. Then one morning, a wandering monk arrived with a stick and a bowl in his hands. When the villagers gathered around him, narrating their sorrows, he listened patiently and then said something I never forgot. He said, "What you plant in your mind is what grows around you." The villagers didn't understand, so he decided to show them. He gave 3 villagers 3 clay pots and said, "Each morning, fill your pot with what you think most about. Not soil or anything else, but just thoughts. I will return to this village in a few months and see the result." And with that, he went away. A few months passed. One day, the monk returned as promised. When the 3 villagers brought the same clay pots to the monk, it was discovered that the first man's pot was cracked. The second man's pot was heavy and dark. But the third villager, a widow, had her pot smooth and clean. The monk asked each of them what thoughts they had filled into their pots. The first man said, "I was fearful all this time. I was always thinking, what if the floods return? What if I lose my land again?" The second man said, "I was angry. I used to ask why should I suffer and why the government had abandoned us." But the widow said that she had filled her pot with gratitude. Every day she whispered, "Thank you for the roof I still have. Thank you for another sunrise." Hearing this, the monk smiled and said, The pot is your mind. Fear weakens it, anger poisons it, but gratitude strengthens it. A mind that thinks positive thoughts attracts good fortune because it no longer repels it. And that was the day I fully understood the real power of positive thinking. Arjun listened intently, watching Anandi Devi's peaceful face. But how do you stay positive when things are terrible? He finally asked. Anandi Devi smiled knowingly. There are ways, son. Real ones, not blind optimism. Let me tell you what that monk taught us next. She held up 3 fingers. First, watch your words. Every morning, I think to myself, today will bring something good. Even when I don't believe it, I say it because the mind listens to our thoughts. Second, replace every complaint with a blessing. If you say, I have no food, follow it with, but I still have hands to cook when I find some. Third, act as if things will get better. Because when you act with faith, you stop waiting for miracles. You create them. Arjun wrote the 3 points in his notebook. The words were simple, but something about her voice made them feel sacred. Arjun glanced around at the villagers laughing and rebuilding their huts. The flood had taken away their walls, but not their will. He finally understood. The true power of positive thinking was the quiet decision to choose better thoughts even when life gives you worse ones. Before leaving for Guwahati, Arjun once again met Anandi Devi. She quietly said, "You came here to write about loss, didn't you? But don't write about what the flood destroyed. Write about what it couldn't drown. Our positive thoughts." Her words stayed with him long after he left. Positive thinking is not pretending that everything is fine. It is training your mind to find what is still good and building from there. Your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your world. If this story has inspired you to always think positively, please subscribe to my channel for more such stories. Thanks for watching.